Another week gone and even more adventures experienced. A few lessons were learned as well, like how the tracking feature on the drone isn't all that great.
Our next stop, Francis Marion National Forest Recreation Area at Honey Hill. We took a bit of a gamble at this site. It was first come, first served, and they only had a handful of sites to choose from. But we got lucky. We had some backup sites ready just in case, but we were really glad we didn't need them. And the best part about this site? An amazing old fire tower.
Ayla was pretty set on sneaking out to climb the tower, but in the end, we were proper citizens of the management area and just took some drone footage of it instead.
We tried to go out using the GoPro chest attachment to see what the video looks like, taken from a walking chest angle. This old church is the Halfway Creek Church in Berkeley County. Though it was originally built in 1941, it was constructed on the same site as a Methodist church made of logs that was constructed in 1828. It has had many ups and downs, transfers of ownership, and unfortunately now is in quite a state of disrepair.
We made it into Charleston, South Carolina after many people had suggested it to us. And they were right. The town was absolutely beautiful.
The building is like half.
Yeah.
We also took the opportunity to work with Raina walking on leash in a pretty congested area, and she did really good.
Nice.
But she did not like using the bathroom on the small patches of grass and dirt between the sidewalks and streets, and I can't really blame her. But we did find a beautiful park that offered much more grassage for Raina to use before we made it to our first museum of the week.
Welcome to the USS Yorktown, located at the Navy and Maritime Museum at Patriots Point. It was the 10th aircraft carrier to serve in the United States Navy.
A huge portion of the vessel was available for self-guided tours. I feel brief. Let's make it brief. Oh, it's even got the little... That's pretty cool.
So cool.
It really just doesn't feel like you're in a big boat, though.
Especially how quiet it is.
Yeah. Big old doors.
Bulkheads. Hit my head.
Here's something we haven't seen the whole time we're in here.
Yep. It's a good thing I'm not looking to go into the Navy.
Oh, that's cool.
Radio room.
Among the 14 radio rooms located in different spots around the ship, Radio 3 provided communications between Yorktown, U.S. Naval shore stations, and other ships at sea. Modes of communication included voice, Morse code, and radio teletype. Radio men of the Sea Division manned these important facilities. The message traffic you hear was donated by George Brubaker, who served aboard the Yorktown in the early 1960s.
That's cool.
That's cool that it's actually a message.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Anti-submarine warfare plotting table. Allows personnel to track submarine contacts found by sonar.
If you have something to tell me, if you have, unless if it's, you're putting it on the video, then you keep it in that room. It's kind of like.
Out on the flight deck, they had all kinds of aircraft, including this SH-3G Sea King that recovered the Apollo 8 capsule with the astronauts inside. This was the platform for the men to guide pilots into land back before they had the computers to do it instead.
And right off the side of the Yorktown was the USS Laffey, the most decorated World War II era destroyer still in existence. On March 18, 1945, the Yorktown was struck by a bomb from a Japanese dive bomber, punching a hole through the deck and exploding near the hull. A black mark on the deck shows where the bomb entered. The tour was truly extensive. We were able to walk through the charting and navigation room, the bridges, though I'm not certain the difference between the two bridges, and the torpedo assembly room. Yeah.
The best part of the ship? Being able to see the crew's quarters and how the men aboard the vessel lived. They had dentist offices and laundry facilities with all kinds of fancy pressing machines. galleys, and a very toasty boiler room.
It's a video.
On the ice cubes. It's awesome.
It was incredible being able to walk through the engine room and the boiler room. It's so impressive to see what people were able to do with just diesel and steam before nuclear reactors and electronics and computers joined the fight.
Also down below, they had an amazing bakery and a piece of paper on the wall for a recipe for 10,000 cookies, and that included 112 pounds of chocolate chips.
It was a great day at the museum, but there was plenty more to do. We took our pup for a bike ride through the forest, and she did great keeping between the two of us. The puppy had a very long day of sleeping in the car all day. So now she's all tuckered out.
She wanted cuddles.
She wanted cuddles.
So she gets cuddles.
So she gets the cuddles.
You can hear her little snore.
The next museum for us was the Rice Museum in Georgetown, South Carolina. That's right, a museum about the history of rice and rice cultivation. It was one of those micro and mighty museums. It was very small, but pretty fantastic.
On another sunny, beautiful Carolina day, we found ourselves at the Avian Conservation Center for Birds of Prey for a flight demonstration of some rescued birds.
It comes from a group of birds of prey found all over the world that is not nearly as appreciated as they should be. What are we looking at? A black vulture, very good. Black vulture is one of 2 native vultures found here in South Carolina, one of 22 species of vultures found on planet Earth. And as we'll see, he's got some similarities to the red-tailed hawk, but also some pretty dramatic differences. He's shaped a lot like the red-tailed hawk, big broad wings. He's got a curved beak like the red-tailed hawk. But that's about where the similarity. Other animals like dogs and rats are scavengers too. They would gladly eat the things that the vultures are out there eating. What we've seen in those places where vulture populations have declined are increases in populations of animals like dogs and rats, which is okay. Individual actually that was bred here at the Center for Birds of Prey. So this is our first example in the demonstration of a captive bred animal. We understand that captive propagation is a tool that can be used for a lot of things, for understanding the species better, for helping track its behavior. It's very noisy. Vultures don't have to sneak up on anybody, but owls, as nocturnal hunters, I mentioned the birds were going to be close, didn't I? Light under low light conditions. Their eyes are very specific to seeing at night. They don't have any color vision. They only have rods. Burrowing owl. So as you'll notice right away, some similarities to the other owl. She's got that big flat face, those facial discs, the outer ears of the owl. She's got those large forward-facing eyes. She's got plumage that's very owl-like. When we look at the native habitat of the burrowing owl, some of this will start to make sense. This is a bird found in the prairies. This is the Great Plains, the area west of the Mississippi River, all the way from southern Canada to northern Mexico, all the way out to the west coast of the United States. They live in a habitat that is very particular, and they are, what's the primary concern? Don't get eaten by something. That's the primary concern. You're small, you weigh 100 grams. There are lots of things out there that would gladly eat a burrowing owl. So she needs to hide from predators. Where do most small birds hide from predators? Most birds do not hide underground. No. Think about it. Most birds around you hide in trees or in bushes. Up. They get up so they can get sick.
Look how calm he is as well.
They had an entire owl avenue with rescued owl species from all over the world, and they were just so beautiful.
Are those just tufts?
You're very cute. You're very cute. I saw a bunch of you when I was in Nevada. And your little burrows.
We finished off the day with some delicious shrimp and grits and brisket at a local restaurant and found a cat cafe called Purr and Pour. Say hi, honey.
Hi, honey.
Shrimp and grits.
Oh, your brisket looks nice too.
It does. You look nice too.
Always.
They had all kinds of cats everywhere, and all the cats were adoptable. They had a separate section where you could get coffee or tea and sit with all the furry felines. It was another amazing week of museums, outdoor adventures, and memories made.